So we are going to start in a seated position. If you find cross-leg comfortable, please start there. If that is not comfortable for you, then there are other positions that you can take. If you have a bolster, which a bolster is my favourite prop in yoga, you don't need one of these expensive ones. You can use cushions. You can, there are cushions in IKEA that you can do, and you can roll up and you can fill those. Just something that you can come to and you can sit here quite comfortably. I'm going to be here for sort of 10 to 15 minutes. So maybe you want to use something like a bolster. The other thing that you can do is, if you struggle, is to take a couple of blocks or bricks and just place them under the bum. You can sit onto those, cross your legs, and then just let the sit bones naturally fall from the front. As you can see, it starts to open up the rib cage. It gives you more space here. So we're going to start by placing our hands onto our knees, just taking a few moments just to connect with the breath, the natural rhythm of our breathing. I always like to start these practices with a few rounds of breath works, just to really ground us into the practice. So taking one hand, placing it onto the chest. We're going to place another hand onto the belly. The reason we do this is it helps us feel where that energy and the breath is going within the body. So this is the full yoga breath. We will start, it'll be one long breath, but we do it in 3 parts. As we inhale that first part, we breathe in and we start to expand the belly, letting the air fill the belly. And then flowing up, we start to fill the rib cage, and then flowing up into filling that chest. We pause for a moment and then we release in reverse. So we'll release from the chest, then the ribs, then the belly. So we'll do that together. So exhale first, and then breathe into the belly, the ribs, the chest, and then exhale the chest, the ribs, and the belly, pushing out all the air, pulling that navel back to spine. And then we start again. We inhale to the belly, the ribs, and the chest. We exhale the chest, the ribs, and the belly. And we're going to carry on and do a few more rounds of these. It's important that you do this in your own time, following the flow of your own breath. Last time through. And then when you finish that round, just bring the hands back down to the knees. Just let the breath return to that natural rhythm. From here, I'm going to move my box. From here, we're going to go into a gentle side stretch. Placing your right hand down, we're going to scoop that left hand up, bringing it all the way up and taking it across the body into that lovely stretch. It's really important at this point that we make sure that the chest is rotated, we're not collapsing forward. The sit bones are grounded into the floor. You can take a bend in this standing arm and keep this arm straight and strong. Feel like you're being pulled from those fingers. Remember to keep breathing. And then we inhale and we go over to the opposite side. So placing that left hand down, bringing up that right hand and going into that stretch. Again, feel that stretch all the way down the body. Remembering to breathe. And then bringing that up and coming back to centre. This time we're going to start to walk the hands out in front of us. Just let the body soften, falling down. We want to let the head soften the neck. Just allow the gaze to go down to the ground. And just walk the hands as far forward as is comfortable for you. is staying in this position. We're slowly going to start to walk the hands over to the left hand side, just until we feel that stretch down our side. Again, remembering to breathe. Remembering just to push down that little bit further towards the floor if that's comfortable. We're going to move back to centre really slowly and over to the opposite side. Feeling that lovely stretch. And then going back to centre. And then pushing up, slowly walking the hand back up to that seated position. We're going to go through that again, but add in a slightly different move this time. So placing the right hand down, we're going to scoop the arm up. As we take it over, we go into that stretch, and then we take a bend in the elbow, placing the hand behind the head. We are going to pull that elbow up, opening up the chest, looking towards the ceiling. And on the next exhale, we're going to start to round down, bringing the elbow down. You should have a curve in the back, bringing that chin to chest. Inhale, we open up, keeping these moves really slow. Exhale, folding down. Inhale to open. Exhale to round down. Inhale to open. Exhale to round down. Last time, inhale, we open. As we get to the top, see if you can just open the chest a little bit more, pulling that elbow back. Straighten out the arm, and we come over to complete that on the opposite side. So scooping the arm up, taking it over. As we get to that stretch, we take a bend, placing the hand behind our head and opening up the elbow and looking up towards the ceiling. On the next exhale, as we exhale, we round down, taking the elbow down, rounding the back, chin to chest. Inhale to open, looking up towards the ceiling. Exhale to round down. Inhale to open. Exhale to round down. Inhale to open. Exhale to round down. And the final time. Inhale to open. Again, as you get to the top, just see if you can take the elbow back that little bit further. We straighten out the arm, come back to centre. This time, if you have your legs crossed, I want you to uncross the legs and cross them in the opposite direction. If you're sat with your legs out straight, if you sat on a bolster, that's fine. You can stay as you are. Now you've got your legs crossed, we're going to go into that forward fold so we get the stretch on both sides. So just start to walk the hands down, letting the head fall, the gaze fall to the ground. Notice where you might feel that stretch ever so slightly differently on this side to the other. Remembering to breathe. And slowly start to walk the hands over to the left hand side, just until you feel that stretch. We're going to come back through centre and over to the right hand side. You can just see with every exhale, if you can just sink down that a little bit further. It's really important that we're not stretching too far, that we're keeping our sit bones ground into the floor and only stretching just until we can feel it. You're going to come back to centre, slowly walk the hands back to a seated position. From here, we're going to take the hands out in front of us, interlace the fingers, turn them inside out. First of all, we're going to reach up to the sky. Feel like you're being ground down through the sit bones, but pulling the hands up high, shoulders are low. Remembering to breathe. Release those hands, take them down. We're going to do that again, this time interlacing fingers, turning them inside out. And this time we're going to push forward. As we push forward, we start to round the back, letting that chin fall. Release those hands, take them behind. We're going to interlace the fingers, pull the fist together, and as we pull down, start to squeeze the shoulder blades together. And breathe. And release. We're going to go to the front one more time. So interlace the fingers, pushing them out, rounding that back, letting the chin fall down. Really push through those fingers. Keep this really active pose. Release those hands, take them behind, interlace the fingers, pull that fist down. And as you pull down, squeeze the shoulder blades together. This time, see if you can squeeze them that little bit further, opening up that chest and looking up towards the ceiling. Release those hands, bring them back to the knees. We'll just take a moment here just to let that energy settle. Now we're going to move on to all fours. So from here you can either, if you've got your legs crossed, you can just roll over. If you're on a bolster, remove that. I'll just come to a tabletop position in whichever way works for you. So when you're in this position, you want to be in the position where you have your shoulders above your hands, the knees are under the hips, the back is straight. And although it looks like I'm dipping because I'm atop, the back is straight currently. From here, we're going to go into just a figure of 8, just to start to open up the hips, starting to loosen everything. So we just want to move back, going in circles. This is starting to work the wrists. It's opening the hips, just getting that energy flowing. And then going back the opposite direction. Again, moving around, trying to reach every part of your mat. Coming back to all fours. This time I'm going to get to push back into child's pose. So we want to take the knees as wide as the mat, toes are together, and then we push back, placing the bum onto our heels. Start to walk the hands out, keeping those arms active, and let the head drop. This is not comfortable for you. You might want to take one of your bricks or your blocks and just place that in front of you, just to rest the head on. That feels more comfortable. You want to be able to fully surrender in this position. Breathe deeply into the back. From here we're going to slowly start to move back up onto all fours. We're going to go through a few rounds of cat and cow. So similar to the moves we were doing when we were seated and we were looking towards the front of the room, this time we're going to do it from a tabletop position. So on the exhale, we're going to start to exhale round the back, tuck the tailbones under, chin comes to chest. So exhale all that air, pulling right up. On the inhale, we start to reverse that, taking a bend in the elbows, tailbone comes up, head comes up last. Exhale to round. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to round. Inhale to come forward. Exhale to round. Inhale to come forward. And then coming back to that neutral position, adjusting your position if you need to. At any point in your yoga practice, move your hands, move your legs, move your knees into a position that's right for you, something that is comfortable. We are going to go into thread the needle now. So on this one, we're going to lift the left hand first, lifting it open up to the ceiling into that twist. On the exhale, we're going to start to thread it through. This time we're going to come down onto our elbow. We want to make sure that the hips are still stacked above the knees. And we're going to hold it here for a few moments. If you want to take it further, you can take that right arm out in front of you. If you want, you can take it up and over and into a gentle bind. Remember to breathe into this position. If this isn't comfortable for you, please pull out of the position. Use a block to prop yourself up. Blocks are there to build the ground up, to make this position more comfortable for you. And from here, use that right hand, put it back onto the ground, push up. As we push back into all fours, from here we're going to push back into child's pose. Rest for a moment. Again, keeping those arms active, so just walk them out as far as they'll go. Use the bricks, the blocks, any props you need to make this more comfortable for you. And from here we are going to rock up back onto all fours and repeat the same on the opposite side. This time taking that right arm up into that side stretch, looking up towards the fingers. On the exhale we're going to come down, thread it through. Coming down onto our shoulder. Again, trying to keep those knees stacked under the hips. If you want to, you can take that left arm out straight in front, or lifting up the hand and placing it in the small of the back, opening up that shoulder into that bind. You're going to hold it here, remembering to breathe. If you're in this position, you can release the hand, bringing it down onto the floor. You're going to push back up onto our fours. Tuck the toes under, and we're going to roll back onto our bums and back into that seated position. So I'm going to move back so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to sit in a wide leg stance at the moment. Keeping those legs wide to the side, keeping the toes upwards. We're going to do as we did at the start. We're just going to gently start to walk the hands forward for the moment. So we start to stretch out the inside of those legs. Let the back round, let the head fall down. And every exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper. Walking those hands back up into that seated position. We're going to take the right leg, bend that in, placing the foot into the thigh. We're going to lift the body, sitting up straight, turn the body to that left leg. And as we start to fold, we're going to fold from the hips, trying to keep that back straight. So move around, jiggle your bum if you need to, find that position, and then slowly start to walk the hands down the leg, looking forward. Keeping that straight back, thinking about hinging from the hips. Remembering to breathe. On your next exhale, see if you can sink a little bit deeper. You might want to walk your hands down the leg. You might be able to grab the foot. You might have a strap or a block that you want to use to help support this. Slowly starting to walk the hands back up the leg. We're going to turn the body to the centre. This time we're going to slide the left hand down the left leg, keeping the hips and the body to the front. We're going to slide it down, coming into that side stretch, bringing the right arm over. So again, we don't want to collapse down, we want to keep that open. This isn't about how far you can go down, this is about opening up the sides and giving that stretch. Again, remembering to breathe in this pose, try and keep this hand active, feel like you're being pulled. Keeping grounded through the sit bones. And bringing that hand back up to central. You're going to take the left hand and place it onto the right knee, bringing that right hand up and back. As that hand sits behind you, go up onto your fingertips just to give you that little bit of height. You can also use your block if this is helpful to you. Pushing up onto that right hand, we are going to start to twist, using the left hand to pull the body round as we twist to look over the right shoulder. And remembering to breathe. and back to center. Releasing that leg. We're going to bring the left leg in now as we repeat on the opposite side. So we sit up straight, we turn the body towards that right leg, and on the next exhale we start to hinge forward from the hips, walking those hands down the leg, keeping the back straight, looking forward. This isn't about us getting as low as you can. This is about that gentle fold. On your next exhale, see if you can just sink that little bit deeper. In positions like this, props like the straps can be really helpful just to grab around the foot and help you walk your hands that little bit further. And then slowly start to walk the hands up. We're going to turn to center again, keeping the legs where they are, but this time we're going to start to slide the right hand down the right leg. As we go into that, we open up the chest, turn the body to the side, bringing that left arm up and over and into that beautiful side stretch. Again, keeping those hips straight to the front, sit bones are grounded into the floor. Fingers are stretched. Feel like you're being pulled. Feel that lovely stretch. Remember to breathe. And then coming up from here, back to center. Going to do the same again, taking that right hand onto the left knee. We're going to lift the left hand up and over, coming up onto those fingertips, pushing our body up, keeping that back straight, and then using that hand to twist around to look over the left shoulder. And then coming back to center. We're going to release those legs, bend them in front of you, and just gently start to swing from side to side. Hopefully you're starting to feel the benefits of the movement so far. As we come down onto the ground to do some final movements in this flow. So turning around, we're going to lay down onto the ground. The first thing I want you to do is bring both knees into the body, pulling them in as tight as you can. Really hook those knees to your chest. You might want to gently start to take a rock from side to side, go around in a circle, just starting to gently massage the lower back. This is one of my favourite movements you can do, especially after a long class. And I'm going to pull those legs in again. Keeping hold of that right knee, we're going to take that left leg out, letting that fall straight out in front of you. Keeping that knee pulled in tight. We're going to take hold of this right knee, pull it out to the side ever so slightly, and see if you can pull it in further, this time coming right under the arm. Moving that right knee back to centre. We'll bring the left knee in to join it, and then grabbing hold of the left, we take that right leg straight out in front of us. Pulling that left knee tight. And taking that left knee out to the side very slightly and pulling that in under the arm. Seeing if you can get that little bit stretch. Going that little bit deeper. Bringing that back in, bringing the right knee in and placing both feet, keeping the knees bent, placing them on the ground. Gonna lift that right knee, put the right ankle over the left knee. And you can stay here if you want. You might want to put a little bit of pressure onto that right knee, pushing that out ever so slightly, staying strong in this standing leg. If you want to take it further, you can take your hands, or if you have one, you can take a strap, just place it under the thigh, and just gently starting to pull the left leg in, keeping that right knee pushing out. that down. Unhook that leg. We'll do that on the opposite side. Placing that leg, left ankle over the right knee. Just pushing that left knee out slightly. And again, you can stay here if this is enough for you. You want to take a slightly deeper stretch, lift up, placing the fingers or a strap under that left thigh, pulling that leg towards us, feeling that stretch, making sure that this knee is still going out to the side. And then releasing that leg, placing the foot down, unhooking that left foot, and coming back to a position where your knees are bent, feet are firmly on the ground. I want to take your arms out to the side, perfectly out to the side. And then one by one, we're going to pick up the knees, keeping them at that right angle. We are going to start to float the knees over to the left-hand side. As we fall, we turn the head over to the right-hand side, into that final stretch of our practice. If at any point this feels too stretched, too strenuous, use the blocks, use your bolsters under your knees. You can use a strap also. I want to fully surrender in this position, let the body collapse. You don't want to be holding on to any tension. Breathing in, we're going to lift the knees back to centre and then take them over to the opposite side, letting them fall fully to the ground, and then turning the head in the opposite direction, fully surrendering the body to the ground, letting go of any tension. And then bringing those legs back to centre, letting the legs go out straight, letting the feet go as wide as the mat. Hands come down the side, palms facing upwards. As we move into a few minutes of Shavasana. Most important part of any class, just let the body come back to a state of being. Start to scan through the body. Notice where you're holding tension. Let the shoulders release, let the body feel heavy, let it melt into the ground. And just find some awareness of the breath. Just notice your natural rhythm, rise and fall. And on your next inhale, take a deep inhale through the nose, sighing it out through the mouth. And go with any final bits of tension that you're holding on to. And when you're ready, start to bring some movement into the fingers and the toes. I want to stretch the body and then slowly start to roll over onto one side. When you're ready, you're going to push up, back into that seated position that we started in. Take a moment, keep the hands on the knees. Let the eyes close. Take one deep inhale to get the hands to touch at the top. So bring the hands down into the centre.